Welcome aboard the Boat Buyers Secret Weapon podcast, where we're dedicated to helping first-time and experienced boat buyers find the right boat at the best price so they have years and years of boating fun, because life truly is better on a boat. Today's podcast is sponsored by the Boat Buyers Secret Weapon YouTube channel. Don't pay too much for your next boat. Just visit boatbuyerssecretweapon.com/save to watch a short video. Now, let's hop aboard and have some fun. Welcome, everybody, to the Boat Buyers Secret Weapon series. I am your host, Captain Matt, and today we're talking boat trailers. Boat trailer basics, how to buy the right boat trailer for your boat. As always, we're brought to you by Boat Buyers Secret Weapon. At boatbuyerssecretweapon.com, you can get your free Boat Buyers Secret Weapon Boat Buyers Toolkit. This toolkit will help you save lots of time, make a right decision when it comes to your boat, and save some money as well. You can get that for free. Just put in your name and email address, and you can get it instantly via your email. So let's talk boat trailers. What are we going to cover today? Cracking the code of boat trailers, the best boat trailer, getting the right boat trailer. We're going to talk about galvanized versus painted versus aluminum, options to consider, single, dual, and triple axle trailers, and at the end we'll have a special gift for you. So let's talk about cracking the code. When I talk cracking the code, every trailer will tell you what you need to know about it if it is a good match for your boat weight-wise. So this is a tag that's on every single trailer. Now, the location may vary. It may be somewhere that if the boat's on the trailer, you may have to kind of crane your neck around and look on the inside up under the boat. It may be on the tongue of the trailer. It may be on the rear of the trailer. It may be on the top of the tongue, the side of the tongue. You just don't know. There may be multiple on the boat. But here's why this is such an important piece. Let's start in the top left with capacity. The capacity of the trailer is the maximum weight of the boat combined, the maximum weight that the trailer can take. So that's boat, that's gear, that's motor, that's fuel, that's the cooler, that is anything that's in the trailer as you're hauling it down the road. That's the capacity. So if your boat has a dry weight of 3,500 pounds, and it has an outboard, and that weight of the outboard for easy math is 500 pounds. And you have 50 gallons of fuel. That's another 350 pounds. And you have another 150 pounds of gear on the boat. That all adds up to a 4,500 pound boat. So the capacity, what seems may fit a 4,000 pound trailer, a 3,500 pound dry weight on the boat, but when you add everything together, you're now 500 pounds over the weight limit of that trailer, and now you get into that unsafe territory of having a major catastrophe on your hands. Don't overweight your trailers. The next is GVWR, gross vehicle weight. So that is the total weight of the package with the max capacity and the weight of the trailer. So if you want to do a little math here, if the GVWR is 5,100 pounds, the capacity is 400 pounds. What I know is that the trailer itself weighs 1,100 pounds. That's just simple math, but it tells you what the total package is. So if the rating of your vehicle is for 5,000 pounds, and you have the boat at capacity and that trailer weight, you are now 100 pounds over the capacity of your 5,000 pound tow capacity trailer, okay? So that's an important number to know. The total trailer weight plus the total boat weight gives you your gross vehicle weight. Gross vehicle weight per axle, just divide it by the number of axles. This trailer obviously is a dual axle trailer because that 5550 is half of the GVWR. Now, tire pressure, tires, make sure you have the proper tires and the proper tire pressure, and you can check that to make sure that the tires on that trailer, especially a used one, match the tires that should be on that trailer, the one that it's rated for. And finally, the VIN. The VIN number, there's a secret code in the VIN number. It'll tell you what year that trailer is. And if you count 10 digits in from the start of the number, which is the C here, that's the 10th digit, that'll tell you the year the trailer was manufactured, so you know what age it is. Now, it's a secret code. You have to have the decoder ring to go with it. So in the DMV world, they've said, okay, we're going to do a letter and number combination. So 96 is T, 97 is V. In 2001, they switched back to numbers, and it's 1, 2, all the way up to 2009 is 9. And then they go back to letters. So 2010 is A, 2018 is J. So this C tells us it's a 2012 trailer. Okay. So in the Boat Buyer's Toolkit, we actually give you this little decoder ring, so you have access to it when you're looking at your trailer. So now you know what that is, and you can tell if the owner doesn't know what the trailer is, you can tell if it's a good fit. Okay? Now, let's talk about the two options that you have, a bunk trailer and roller trailers. So there's pluses and minuses. Like everything in boating, there is not a right trailer and a wrong trailer. There's a right trailer for your boating style and the boat you have. So these trailers are set up for a deck boat or a bow rider, a center console, a fiberglass, or an aluminum V-bottom type boat. Okay, these are not meant for pontoons. These are not meant for inboards. Actually, that top one might be meant for an inboard. Could be used for an inboard. But those bunk systems are designed for a V-hull boat. The bunks themselves are designed if you've got an easy in and out. If you're on a lake, there's not much wind, there's not much current. You're not going into a situation where you're going to have to winch your boat on, and you don't want to get your hubs in the salt water. A bunk trailer is a great option. It supports the boat well, it cradles the boat well, it's long lasting, it's durable, it's a proven method. And most trailers these days are going to the bunk method because it's such a good system to have a nice stable cradle for the boat. The roller trailers on the bottom, you can see the roller trailers. It's got a series of rollers. Now, if you're somebody that doesn't want to put your hubs in the water and you want to crank your boat up, these rollers are going to make that so much easier for you to roll that trailer up on your boat. Other way around, roll that boat up on your trailer. These are great if you have a situation where you need to load it in a way that's a little bit more difficult. The bunks themselves will kind of actuate a little bit and rotate to cradle that boat in. Now, on the flip side is there's some extra maintenance that needs to be done. You have to keep those rollers in good condition, make sure they're moving properly, make sure they're not getting dry rot or splitting or cracking or anything like that. You got to keep everything greased up and moving in good condition. And they also, it doesn't spread the weight distribution isn't as even because you have those little pressure points of the rollers. But overall, it's a good trailer. And those are a situation where a roller trailer would make more sense of the ease of getting it on. So let's take a look at galvanized, painted, or aluminum. First, we'll talk about what they are. So the top left is galvanized. Galvanized is a rough metal that has been dipped in a solution that gives it rust protection. It's not the prettiest looking trailer you're going to find, but it's very durable. It's very long lasting. The painted trailer, that red one at the bottom, looks sharp. You can do different colors on it. However, if you're boating in a saltwater environment, that will start rusting as soon as you get your first scratch or ding in it from a rock or something like that. That will give you some rust issues. So I'd stay away for a painted trailer if you were in a saltwater environment. Aluminum. The aluminum trailers, you can see it sort of has that I-beam construction. The I-beam gives it a very heavy duty, sturdy weight, and you can use aluminum trailers as you get to really big trailers because the weight is down on the total weight of the trailer. So if you're putting a 15,000 pound boat on an aluminum trailer, you don't have another 5,000 pounds of galvanized steel You've got the lightness of aluminum. In saltwater, aluminum trailers do great. Galvanized trailers do very well in saltwater as well. And it is a preference. If you want that pretty looking trailer and you're in a freshwater environment, a painted trailer is a great way to go. If you are not so concerned about the looks and you just want a good, durable trailer, the galvanized is a perfect option. As you get up into the bigger boats, the aluminum is a great option. And actually, aluminum is a great option in any scenario because it looks pretty polished, it looks pretty sharp and clean, and it does great in salt water. So let's look at the breakdown of single axle, dual axle, triple axle. These are very rough estimates, by no means the exact numbers, but they give you a ballpark. On a single axle, they can typically take a boat as long as up to 20 feet long. The gross weight up to 3,400 pounds, and you're typically looking at a price from $1,000 to $4,000. Now, that is a range. My suggestion to you, if you're on the cusp of the length or the weight, is to move up to a dual axle trailer. A dual axle trailer, it tows so much easier. It's so much safer. You have that extra tire. If you have a blowout, you're not going to be left on the side of the road. And it gives a straighter line. They're easier to back down into the ramp. The dual axle trailer, if you're on the cusp, I would rather have a boat that's a little bit light than maxing out the weight capacity of my trailer and my axles where an issue may come down the line. The dual axle is going to go from 18 feet to 29 feet, approximately a ballpark, 5,000 to 8,000 pounds, and the price $3,000 to $8,000. The triple axle. Triple axles are almost always going to be aluminum trailers, again, because they reduce the weight of that trailer. The weight the trailer brings to the total package is a huge advantage. The I-beam construction, the strength there, 27 to 36 feet. You actually can get those down further. There's smaller size triple axle trailers than 27 feet, but they typically will go from 8,000 to 15,000 pounds. And you're looking from 8,000 to 19 to 20,000, depending on how big you're looking and the options that you have on there. A couple notes. It is law that trailers with a gross weight of over 3,000 pounds or more have brakes on one axle. So if you're over 3,000 pounds of gross weight, you need to have brakes that are working properly. And also, trailer laws vary by state. So there's different laws on the width of the trailer, the width of the rig that you're towing, and do you have to have permits? Can you freely tow down the interstate? So if you're making a journey away from your home area, you need to check the routes and check the trailering laws and the capacity regulations. What rules do they have in your state that you boat, or an area where you may be towing through to get to your next boating destination? So again, just a ballpark so you kind of get a sense for where you're going to be as it relates to trailer options. Of course, that's going to impact the price of the trailer. Brakes we talked about. I highly encourage you to get brakes on your trailer. 3,000 pounds is not very much weight, and every trailer is going to operate better and safer with brakes on it that are maintained properly. A swing away tongue. If you're storing in a garage, if you need some extra space, they make a swing away tongue that actually it has a hinge in it, so you can swing it back and you can save yourself a bunch of space. If you're tight on storage and you're trying to squeeze that into a location, you don't want that big long tongue hanging out. That can save you 2-3 feet of distance that your rig takes up. Load guides. You can see the red arrows pointing to the load guides. They're just a very simple upright that helps you as you get the bow of your boat into the trailer. It sort of guides it onto those bunks or onto those rollers. So if the wind catches you or the current catches you, it doesn't swing you away. So it gives you that extra precision. It also, as the trailer is back down in the water, you can see those guides, and you should be able to see probably the tips of your bunks as well, hanging out, depending on the depth and the steepness of your ramp. A spare tire. You can see that little blue arrow Typically, that's where the spare tire is going to be stowed on a trailer for a V-haul boat. It's tucked away. It's great to have it. If you don't have a spare tire on your tow vehicle for your trailer, I'd encourage you to carry one on your trailer and get that option. And then retractable tie-downs is a new option that you're seeing more and more, where the actual tie-downs on the transom of the boat that attach to the back of the boat. And yes, if you've never trailered before, you absolutely positively must have the tie-downs on the transom of the boat. It's one, it keeps the boat tight on the trailer. Two, if you have a quick stop, it keeps the boat from running up the bunks, up over that roller, and on top of your vehicle. And you've seen pictures on social media. It does happen. It can happen, and it will happen at some point if you don't have those straps on and you don't load your boat properly. That's a whole nother video, but the retractable tie-downs is a great way so you don't lose your tie-down straps. They're always there. They ratchet up and ratchet back, and they keep you from having that issue. It's a great option, not necessary. You can get tie-down straps at any marine retail store, but I encourage you to always, always, always use your tie-downs on the transom. They are necessary. Don't think that the weight of the boat, it's just to hold the boat from bouncing. That's not the case. It's to hold the boat on the trailer. When you make a quick stop, that boat, especially if you come from the ramp and the bunks are wet, that boat will just keep on slipping off right onto your tow vehicle. Not good. Okay, so if you're looking at a used trailer, so you're buying a used boat and it's got a trailer with it, or you buy a boat and you need to find a trailer, what are some things that you need to inspect? The first thing is you need to look at the tires. You need to look at the tread. Do they have any dry rot on them? What's the age of the tires? When the last time they've been replaced? Because tires wear with time in addition to miles. And the more a trailer sits without being moved, without rolling down the road, the more likely those tires are going to go bad in a shorter period of time, especially if it's tucked off in a grass or gravel field, and you get a flat spot on the tire, the dry rot sets in, some major issues can happen. And then check it if it are the same tires. Do the tires match? Do they match the size that the trailer says it should have based on decoding that tag that's on every trailer? Brakes and brake lines. Talked about how important the brakes are and encouraging to have brakes on your boat trailer. You can see in this picture on the bottom right with the wheels, you can see those little hoses coming in. Those are the brake lines. That's the brake fluid that will engage the brakes. There's actually a fill on the coupler, which is usually kind of in the back. If you can see my cursor there, in the back of the coupler, which is the image just above the wheels and the brake lines, there's a little fill right there. So you want to check both. Make sure that there's no rust and corrosion that's going to snap that brake line or brake leaks in the brake line for the fluid leaking. You can run your finger along there or a rag, and you can check that. The bunks for rot and metal. If it's got bunks, you want to make sure that the carpet's in good condition, that everything is good and covered, or it's got the new material that they're using that is great. The rot in the metal, is there a staple? Is there a screw sticking up that's going to gouge your boat? Shake them, rattle them, roll them. It's best to inspect the trailer when your boat is off it. So when you're doing the demo, the sea trial, the test drive, whatever you want to call it, that's a great time to inspect the trailer before you put it back on there. If it's rollers, you want to make sure that the rollers are fairly formed properly, that they move freely, so that you get the advantages of a roller trailer, which is that the boat rolls right up on it and it's easy to load. You also want to make sure that the trailer arms, they actuate and they move properly, and they're not rusted tight, and check for rust and corrosion there as well. Lighting and wiring. Trailers have the wires run right through them. It's real easy if a trailer's been sitting for a while for a light to get busted, for a wire to get cut with a weed eater. So you want to hook your tow vehicle up to the trailer, Test the lights, brake lights, right blinker, left blinker, flashers, parking lights. Just go through them all and see what is and is not working. It's all fixable, but at times, it could be something that will be a costly expense. You want to know about it. The leaf springs. This is a big one, especially on older trailers, especially in saltwater environments. You can see on the bottom left, you can see the leaf springs. They look like a little bridge. The top one that's nice and gray and dark are new. That's what a good leaf spring looks like. It holds the weight of the boat, the capacity of the boat. So if your trailer's rated for 8,000 pounds, you'll see a big, heavier leaf spring, versus if it's a 4,000 pound trailer, you'll see a thinner leaf spring. What you don't want to see is that rust and corrosion where the metal's flaking off and the integrity, the strength of that metal is wearing down. And now your 8,000 pound trailer may fail at less than 8,000. So you want to check that. Maybe a little bit of corrosion, a little bit of rust is okay, but if that metal's flaking away, you want to have somebody take a good look at it and test it to make sure that you're not going to break a leaf spring and be broken down on the side of the road when you load your boat down for a big trip and you get left with a trailer that's not going anywhere. The axles, the wheels, and the bearings. You can see in the top right, he's checking the bearings, the ball bearings that can overheat. They need to be greased. If you don't know how to do that, you might want to have somebody that does know how, grease them up and check them and make sure that they're packed properly. Maybe they have bearing buddies on them that make it real simple and easy, that you're in good shape to roll down the interstate, roll down the highway to your boating destination. The axles, again, you're looking for the same thing like the leaf spring. You're looking for rust. You're looking for corrosion. You're looking for areas where you may have a catastrophic event, especially on older trailers. You need to check that. And then finally, the title. You need to match up the title to that little placard, that little decal, that little sticker on the boat to make sure the VIN number matches up, to make sure you know what the weight capacity is, not just what they tell you it is, but match it up and know what tires should be on that, and that everything is properly fitted for the boat you're putting on there. So that's what you need to know about boat trailers. I'm sure for many of you, this video came about because of some questions that I answered in some Facebook forums, people that were giving advice that were giving just totally wrong advice based on this is what was right in their area. I want you to know that everything is different. The answer to any boating question should be first, where are you boating? How are you boating? What type of boat are you boating on? And then I can answer your question better. That's why I create these videos, is to give you the information so you know the questions to ask, and then you can apply the information you learned here to your answers to those questions. That's also why we offer the Boat Buyer Secret Weapon Toolkit. It is a free toolkit that you can download right now today as you're watching this video. BoatBuyerSecretWeapon.com. You can claim yours now. We'll email it to you. How to buy a boat at the best price, how to demo a boat the right way. There's a checklist there. Must ask questions for dealers and private sellers, how to maximize your trade, how to get the best boat loan, the best insurance, much more. There's an opportunity to find out the best way to get the absolute best price on the boat that you're buying. You can get that as well. As always, if you like this video, we would love it if you gave it a thumbs up. If you liked it on YouTube, if you have a question that we didn't cover, go ahead and put it in the comments. Put it down below. That may require us to make another video. I may just answer it directly for you, but that's very helpful as we get these videos and can start customizing it for different regions, different areas, different boating types. That will be valuable. And if you would share it. We love it when we get shared. That helps us grow and get the message out to more people, and we really do appreciate it. If you found this video to be valuable, we'd love it if you did that. Grab that toolkit if you're serious about buying a boat. It will be a huge, huge value, and you'll love it. Thank you very much, and remember, life truly is better on a boat. Let's pull up the anchor and run this podcast back to the dock. We'll be back again with another helpful and fun episode next time. If you'd like to be a guest on the podcast, visit BoatBuyersSecretWeapon.com/guest, and I'll help offer insights into your boat research and shopping experience. Also, we'd appreciate it if you took just 2 minutes to rate and review this podcast on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcast. It helps others find us so we can help more boaters. If you enjoyed this episode, please share it in your boating groups on social media. They will certainly thank you. And by the way, if you haven't already, grab your free Boat Buyers Secret Weapon Toolkit at boatbuyerssecretweapon.com/toolkit. And so you don't pay too much for your next boat, visit boatbuyerssecretweapon.com/save for a short video. Now, before we go, I want to leave you with a few first-time boating tips for when you own your new boat. Number 1, know your local boating laws, basic navigation rules, and how to operate your boat safely. It'll make boating even more fun for everyone. 2, be aware of your wake at all times and pay attention to no wake zones because you are responsible for your wake. When maneuvering at slow speeds, you can put out an enormous wake. If going slow, be courteous, save some fuel, and drop down to idle speed, just in forward gear to ensure there is no wake. This could save you an expensive ticket and will keep you from being that guy on your waterway. Number 3, boats do not have headlights. They have docking lights, specifically made for seeing in tight quarters and docking. Do not turn your docking lights on while cruising down the water. It can blind other boaters and is very dangerous and, again, could save you an expensive ticket. Number 4, follow the maintenance schedule for your boat. Change the oil, impeller, gear lube, winterize if you need to winterize in your area. Inspect your trailer tires, bearings, and grease the hubs if you're a trailer boater to ensure you don't experience expensive and unnecessary repairs that will impact your boating time. Number 5, always double check your plug is in, your battery is charged, and the fuel is full before heading out for a day on the water. It could just save your boating day. And if you're a trailer boater, I've got a few extra tips. Number 1, at the boat ramp, prepare your boat, your gear, and your guests in the staging area. Then, when you're ready, back down the ramp, unload the boat, head to the parking lot, and right back down to your boat to be fast and courteous to your fellow boaters and don't tie up that ramp unnecessarily. Next, use transom tie-down straps when trailing your boat. Very bad things can happen if you don't, and they do happen. 3, check everything in the boat is secure before heading down the road. Seat cushions, gear, keys, towels, even tubes and lily pads can get blown out when pulling your boat down the highway or interstate. And most important, have fun. Enjoy your boat and get on the water as much as possible because life truly is better on a boat. Until next time, this is your friend in boating, Captain Matt.